This is Smörgåsbord.
Welcome to Smörgåsbord, a show where we explore the rituals, myths, and all things strange about the world of food. I am Mik, and here is my co-host.
Angel.
And today we are...
I'm gonna learn to say my name normally at one point.
What's the fun in that? Maybe I'll change the way I say my name. I'm
you
Mik.
Save it for Halloween. Save it for the Halloween
Damn,
episode.
I'm Mik.
And then I have to go opposite. I'm Angel. Woo!
Let's do this, bitches.
Oh my god. Let's talk about food.
Yeah, and today we are covering, I guess, what I would call Smörgåsbord's favorite meat.
It should be everybody's favorite meat.
Yeah, totally.
It's my favorite meat.
Spam.
For sure. Spam.
Spam bam.
Remember spam? I never forget spam.
We should do a flashback highlight episode of the spam
highlight reel
cooking episode. Where we just boiled spam.
Spam. Hey, I made a stew.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I called it. It was brown.
And I tried.
Anyway.
Oh yeah, and I tried to make spam soup.
Spam soup.
Yeah.
With cheese.
Cheese and spices.
Yeah, you know my mom watched that, and she's like, "This guy doesn't know how to cook."
Well, first of all, I was not cooking in a kitchen, so.
You tried. An attempt was made.
Hey, whatever. It was good. And
it was good.
I
That's all
that
matters.
Yeah, this ever popular can of luncheon meat has evolved and changed in popularity both in America and globally since its birth in the late 20s. So today we're going to cover its history, rise and fall, and rise in fame, and the ways the world eats this beautiful, beautiful form of meat.
Hunk of pink.
Hunk-a-lunk.
Cube.
I figured instead of doing what are we eating today, we'd ask, when's the last time you ate spam?
The last time we ate spam was when we had dinner at Bianca's.
Okay.
I put pan-fried spam into that salad that I made.
Oh, okay. I don't think I was in that dinner.
You were not there. Were you there?
No, I think.
No, I felt like
I
you
was
had
still
to
on a
work
show.
or something.
I was still in Hope,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, you missed out. I went all out on the salad. Like
a spam salad.
Earlier in the day, this girl I didn't even know gave me a whole bag of kale.
Nice.
So I'm like, I'm gonna make like the killeriest salad. Right. So I put kale, tomatoes, cucumbers, garbanzo beans, and then I was like, there's something missing. And then I saw a can of spam in my cabinet, so I'm like, I will pan fry this and throw that in there, and then just to top it off, caramelized onions.
Ooh. And you say you don't cook.
I mean, I feel like there was not that much cooking involved. It was a lot of chopping because everything was like chopped to small pieces.
Oh, okay.
And then there was also avocado in it too.
Damn, that sounds amazing.
It was a cornucopia of vegetables and spam.
Right. So I feel like we've definitely just switched bodies. Because last time I ate spam, I think, was just a few weeks ago, and I just cut it up.
You just did you
cooked
cook
it for a minute?
Or did you just for a minute? Okay.
It was just the laziest way of eating spam that I've ever done. But I was like, I just want salt.
Okay, the saddest way to eat spam would be to slice it up and then microwave it.
Fair.
Which I have done before.
Have you ever just opened the can and just munched on?
Just dug in with a spoon? No.
No, not even with a spoon. It's like, we'll just call it the calçotte style. You just slowly dropping it to your mouth.
What if we just had one large, long chain of spam?
Well, we'll go through the history, and it actually originates from something that big.
Oh, all right. Teach me.
Oh, this is a great transition. But what exactly is luncheon meat? luncheon meat is another name for cold cuts, lunch meat, cooked meats, deli meats, or sliced meats. They're pretty much just cooked or cured meats that are often served sliced and can usually be either eaten hot or cold. Hence why those names sound familiar, and that's why they got their names too. Common forms of these kind of meats are salami, bologna, pastrami, and spam.
Spam.
The odd one.
It's the runt.
It's like you're presenting your option. Yeah, bologna, salami, pastrami, and spam.
And bologna.
Yeah. The origins of the luncheon meats, though, date back as far as ancient Rome, where these meats were used by Romans to feed their army, presumably because the curing preserves the meat, so it's allowed them to eat or keep the food for longer. In America, though, the emergence of luncheon meats came from the immigrants, like all things good in America, and from the arrival of the Jews in America. The Jews essentially began to open shop in America when they immigrated and the deli came to be. The term deli comes from the word Delikatzen, which is German or French that translates to delicious things to eat.
Really? I never knew what it stood for. Yeah.
I thought you were being sarcastic.
I learned something new. No, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a fancy word for places that sell meat and sandwiches.
No, the deli comes from Delikatzen. Yeah.
Nice.
The invention of meat and bread slicers, though, in the 40s is what led to the emergence and popularity of these luncheon meats. Because when you can cut meat that quickly and cut bread that quickly, what dish do you think becomes the easiest thing to make now?
Spam sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly.
Spam burrito. Spam burrito.
Yeah, sandwiches. Yeah, so sandwiches became easy to make, right? Stores were able to prepare meat and bread so much more faster, making them cheaper and more convenient for everyone. So sandwiches became almost like a lunch staple. Hence the name.
Spamages.
Hence the name's lunch meat and spamages.
Spamage.
Which I think is why lunch meat is called luncheon meat as well, because luncheon is also lunch.
Yes.
Yeah. So many shortcuts. But yeah, so that's kind of the setting.
Want their convenience.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, all of that was what set up the world before the arrival of spam. But
we were priming the world for
spam, essentially.
For the graceful invention of the best meat that's ever invented.
Exactly. The history of spam itself starts in 1929 from a little company in Austin, Minnesota called the Hormel Foods Corporation. Now, the company itself was started by George Hormel back in the late 1800s when George Hormel passed the keys to his son to run the company, J. Hormel. This eager son wanted to create something new and specialized, I guess, to grow the company and focused eventually on deli stores where they sold 6-pound canned meats.
6 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the origins there. Where stores then would slice and sell to customers. So it would arrive in these big metal cans.
Oh my god, I'm just imagining the exact same spam cans but bigger.
Yeah, but 6 pounds. When he saw that this was what was happening with these meats, he wanted to find a way to actually make a smaller version for customers to buy as well. So instead of having deli stores have to cut up the meat and then sell that to the customers, they essentially wanted to cut the middle person out. He also wanted to use a less popular cut of pork, which is the pork shoulder, possibly save money and find a use for this cut. So, because I'm sure they had other pork products and they had an excess of pork shoulders anyway. To solve this, 8 years later, in 1937, spam was born. Now, the Hormel company, when it comes to the name, they claim that they came up with the name collectively, but allegedly the story goes that a guy named Ken Dagenau, who's the brother of a vice president in Hormel, actually came up with the name during a naming contest in a New Year's party.
What an employees party.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, gather around.
Yeah.
We're gonna name some meat.
Like for our social event in our work party, we're gonna do work.
We're gonna name meat.
Am I getting paid for this party? Shut up, Dan. You ask the weirdest questions.
You're also paying for that drink.
Yeah. He won $100 for his efforts.
Oh, nice. Hey, $100 back then?
Yeah.
That's probably like $120.
Yeah. That's like at least 100 cans of Spam.
Yeah. Very many.
Yeah. The word spam itself and its meaning seem to be also contentious, like every history origin we've had.
Of course.
Hormel claims that it's because it's a mix of spice and ham, but there isn't really any spice or ham in Spam.
It might be. Well, it's pink and it's meat, so that's like ham-esque.
Yeah.
And then for some people, salt is a spice.
Yep. There you go.
So,
right. But
checks out.
But other people say that it might also just be an acronym for shoulder of pork and ham. Or
that doesn't make sense.
Because they use the pork shoulder. But ham is pork.
No, and ham starts with an H.
Yeah. Oh. Well, there's the am.
Pork. And I thought the A was for and.
I don't know. Maybe the ending is M. Or the other.
Well, doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're like, maybe not spa. How about spam? Because it has spam. Others also claim that it's an acronym for specially processed assorted meat, which does spell out spam this time.
Okay. You can have that one.
But my other people, which is what my guess would be, is it could just be a random thing that Ken just popped up. I mean, it's a New Year's party. People say weird shit when they're drunk.
Yeah, true.
He's probably just trying to get beer, but just flubber out with spam. What? I won $100? Ken, stop getting drunk. You sound like a baby.
But here's $100 for you to shut up. Oh, I hope he's not still alive and listening to this.
I'm sure he is.
Oh, okay.
He put on his $100 into good investments this time.
Good enough to retire on.
He enjoyed mixing his spam with apples and invested in it.
Spam apples. Ooh.
I
wouldn't be opposed to that. Oh, like not an actual apple.
Yes, my jokes are terrible.
Somebody's laughing. It's me.
Yeah. One. And maybe one of our 3 listeners.
Thanks, listeners.
Yeah. Another breakthrough with the creation of spam came with the creation of the can.
The spam
can. Where they found a way to turn that 6-pound can into something smaller.
Way smaller.
Yeah. Julius Zilgit is credited for creating the can. Good for you, Julius. But he did not get $100 because he was already an employee. Might have gotten a raise. Who knows?
You got it. Yeah.
And the big discovery from it is that they realized that putting the pork in the can creates a vacuum effect. I wrote vaccine, but it's vacuum effect. It creates a vacuum
Don't
effect.
forget to vaccinate your spam.
Yeah. Yes, there is that too. But the vacuum effect is the one that creates a way to preserve the meat much longer. So they both found a way to make it smaller and found a way to actually preserve the meat, which is a great discovery. Before we go about into how spam is made, I figured we'd throw in a few spam facts.
Yay, spam facts.
Today, Austin is essentially Spam Town. They have a street named Spam Boulevard, a restaurant that's called John Spamarama. Johnny Spamarami. Spamarama. They have dishes like spam de melt, which is spam and cheese. It's a grilled cheese with spam.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah. They have a spam museum, and they even have a spam recipe competition.
Oh man, I would love to go to this attraction.
Yep. Austin, Minnesota, take us.
Oh, Minnesota, not Texas.
Nope. Surprisingly not. Yeah. Oh, here's a fun one. Here's another spam fact. How long did it take? How many years do you think it took them to sell their billionth can?
2.
I'll give you 2 more guesses.
12.
Nope.
20?
Yeah. Just a little over 20 years to sell their billionth can. 1959 was where they sold their first billionth can. From my estimates, from what I've seen, is they probably have way past the 20th billion can by now.
Yeah, and like a good 150 of those were from me.
Yeah. Because it took them, I think, like 15 after that, and then 4 years after that to grow another billion. So
this is a spam
explosion. Yeah. According to the Hormel Foods Corporation, an average of 13 cans of spam are consumed every second.
Oh, wow, that's quite a bit.
Yeah, which is a lot. The estimated shelf life of spam is 3 to 5 years. There's also seems to be over 20 varieties of spam in the world.
Oh, I've tried some of the fancy ones. I love them.
We gotta try all of these. So there's a spam classic. There's spam hot and spicy, which is with Tabasco. There's jalapeno spam. There's spam with black pepper. There's spam low sodium, and then spam light, where spam low sodium is still spam, while spam light is made with also
lower fat,
lower sodium, lower calories, and also made with chicken.
That sounds like not fun at all.
According to their website, it says mechanically separated chicken, which sounds very disturbing. There's also spam oven roasted, spam hickory smoked, spam bacon, spam cheese, spam garlic, spam teriyaki.
Oh, I had a weird spicy one.
Ooh, it might be like
it's called mala.
Yes,
mala. Yeah,
mala.
Yeah.
Is it like there's one that's spam mezclita, which is Puerto Rican cheese though.
Oh no,
I don't think
it's
spicy.
That one.
Yeah.
You know, now I'm gonna go on eBay and start buying like random spam.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll make it across the border, but we're sure gonna try.
There's also spam chorizo, spam macadamia nuts, spam turkey, spam tocino, spam Portuguese sausage. There's the spam mezclita, which is, again, we mentioned, is the one with cheese. And believe it or not, there is a spam limited edition that was released late in September 2019. This is to cater to people in fall. What do you think this flavor is?
Pumpkin spice?
Yeah.
Oh, that
so
sounds
there was
awful.
a very limited edition release of spam pumpkin spice, apparently, that exists. I don't know if this is true or not. I want to find it.
We need that for science.
And then there's also weird ones like spam spread, which is a spreadable version of spam.
Oh.
Actually, I'm pretty sure the spam mezclita was also similar, but that one was with cheese as well.
Cheese with spam.
Yeah. There's also spam fries, spam patties, and
I love spam fries.
Oh, yeah, I've never tried them. There's spam patties too, which are like hamburger bun patties.
I mean, you could just cut them yourself.
Maybe this one's like perfectly shaped for.
You could just get a cookie cutter and just like make it circular.
Yeah, true. There's also small cans of spam and spam singles.
Oh, cute!
Yeah, like in little plastic coverings instead of metal.
Cute.
Would you want to guess which American state has the highest per capita consumption?
Texas.
Hawaii.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
This one's fun too. Aside from America, who gets the international crown for most per capita consumption?
It's definitely an Asian country.
Yep.
I don't know which one though. Korea.
Yeah, South Korea.
Oh yeah.
In Hawaii as well, you also get special flavors of spam, such as honey spam, spam with bacon, and the hot and spicy spam.
That sounds so good.
What's fun about Hawaii is they also have spam dishes in Burger King and McDonald's.
Ooh.
They also have an annual event called the Spam Jam, which I think we probably might cover one day.
I want to go.
Yeah. It's a spam day. In Asia, spam is so popular in countries like South Korea or the Philippines, where they're almost used as gifts even. Actually, no, they're not almost. They are used as gifts.
I'd be so happy if somebody just gave me like a stack of spam.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'll use it.
Like, that's a useful gift.
Yes.
Tamara.
Practical.
Yeah. In South Korea, it's packed usually in gift boxes which were given out as gifts for the Lunar New Year. Which can also include things like cooking oil, seasoning, wine, and other premium meats. So I guess spam is fancy in Korea.
Spam is fancy.
In the Philippines, they are often given as balikbayan gifts or homecoming gifts. So people coming from the States or whatever would usually bring some spam home for their family.
Oh, nice.
In China, spam is positioned as a premier food product and is actually called luncheon meat rather than spam.
Oh, because so fancy.
Yeah, it's apparently a little meatier as well. I don't know what that means, and I'm a little disturbed.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like how meaty. I mean, the whole thing is meat.
Yeah.
Like how much meatier can you get?
Yeah, exactly. In the UK, spam has a negative or cheap perception to the point that they actually have a term called Spam Valley, which refers to residential areas where people may seem rich but are actually poor.
All right,
the Broad Bay area of Vancouver, I guess, where people look like they live posh, but they're probably all broke actors.
You mean all of LA?
Yeah, there you go. So those are probably spam valleys.
Yeah.
The negative perception of spam has also led to the creation of the term spam mail, which is a term we use for unsolicited emails. Yeah, it actually came from this spam.
This spam. Oh, okay. So I was just doing some Googling.
Oh, you have all the photos.
I can buy this on Amazon, the sampler pack.
Nice. Do it.
If I order it right now,
can you send me one
here by the time I get back? Currently unavailable. Oh,
that's not good. When people ask what's in spam, this is a pretty contentious topic. In the press, there's a lot of negative information or negative press about spam containing questionable ingredients. Like there's this perception, I think, with some people that people think that spam has weird shit in it.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But Hormel Foods stick to claim that original spam only contains 6 ingredients.
Salt.
Yes.
I want to say ham, but it's not ham. It's just meat.
It's pork shoulder. Sometimes pork with ham shoulder, meat, that's right. And the other 4 are water, sugar, sodium nitrate, and potato starch. Of course, the varieties have their other ingredients too, but this is for the classic spam at least. Why, if we want to find out why these ingredients exist in spam, well, pork is there for, obvious reasons, I guess.
Yeah.
The water, salt, and sugar are there for the cooking and the flavoring process. Sodium nitrate is used as a preservative, and also from the reaction of the nitrates with protein in the spam, it actually gives the meat the distinctive pink color we see. And the 6th ingredient, potato starch, was added only in 2009. And the reason they added it is to remove that gelatin layer that used to form inside the can. You remember that back in the day? Like when you open spam, there had like
a jelly.
Yeah.
I feel like there's still the most recent can that, oh no, I guess there wasn't.
No, if you think about it, it's been gone for a while.
Yeah. Okay.
The reason for that is because in 2009, which is pretty much when we were in our teens or 20s, it changed. And all of a sudden, the gelatin layer was gone. So the potato starch itself was added pretty much for aesthetic reasons because the gelatin layer is kind of gross.
It creeped people out. Yeah. You know what? They're weak.
Yeah. Like if you find a way.
They're weak.
Yeah, that was Angel soup stock.
You need the jelly.
Yep. But the potato starch, though, also helps with retaining the moisture for the spam. So it does help a little bit.
I wonder if the taste changed that much.
It seems like not really.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I don't think it really affects the taste too much. It looks like it just affects the preservation.
Okay.
Yeah. When it comes to how spam is made, it used to be made in 2 facilities in Fremont, Nebraska and Austin, Minnesota. But now it's just made in Austin. I think the other plant just closed down. But I would assume that there are other plants internationally as well.
I hope so. How can they keep up with the demands of spam?
Yeah, right?
When I'm hungry.
What makes me think, what makes me think it actually might be produced only in Austin, Minnesota is the way the spam is made. So, of course, first you grind the pork, and then the pork is mixed with water, salt, and sugar, where it's kind of cooked, I guess, or heated a little bit, like essentially finding the right temperature. And after that, it's portioned and vacuum sealed into the cans. And then the cans are then cooked in a really cool heating process, cooled and labeled. This cooking process actually is pretty cool. The machine they use to cook this cans of spam is apparently 6 stories high
Holy crap.
and can produce
That's a
about,
lot.
I think, 33,000 cans an hour, I think is what I saw.
Wow.
So,
Can we go on a factory tour?
oh, yeah, sure.
This
would
is
be
something
fun.
that I would love to see.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so I think how many seconds are there in an hour? I think it's less than that, so.
That's asking me to math.
I don't know. But anyway.
60 times 60 times 60.
Pass.
Yeah, okay. It's a lot.
But yeah, that's the reason why they have to produce 33,000 cans per hour, because they think that about 13 cans per second get sold or consumed. Yeah. Exactly. The popularity of spam actually came about thanks to World War II, because its packaging and longevity allowed it to be a useful meal to carry around during war. You have a metal can that can survive, so
yeah,
it's both dirt-proof and maybe bulletproof.
You can hurl it at somebody's head
and a weapon.
Really hurt them.
Yeah. Yeah. During World War II, it was apparently given different nicknames, like the ham that didn't pass physical, the meatloaf without basic training, or just special army meat.
Wow, they're so mean to spam.
Right.
How about the meat package that's going to save your life?
Yeah, exactly.
Huh? How about that?
About 150 million pounds were bought by the military to feed the army during the war. This also apparently is the reason why that spam rose to popularity globally. In America, though, spam gained a negative perception after the war because soldiers just didn't want to see spam ever again. It was so bad that Jay Hormel said that he had so much hate mail that he kept in a file. So I guess he had his own version of spam mail.
You think he ever takes it out, just like cries a single tear?
I don't know. I think he sounded like you should be grateful we were able to feed you.
Yeah, I would be grateful.
But I could imagine just for how many years was war? So you were like just eating spam every day for 3 years.
I bet they ate other things than spam.
Yeah. Mud.
Although spam might be a large part of the diet.
Yeah, for sure.
It's probably not the only part.
I hope so. I don't know. If any World War II American survivors,
tell us about your traumatic spam story.
Yeah.
And if you ever personally wrote a letter to Hormel, we want to know.
But yeah, because of all of this spam that was being used by American soldiers, places like Guam, Hawaii, Japan, South Korea, the Philippines, the Soviet Union, and the UK eventually took on spam to their cuisines in different ways. For the places like the UK and the Soviet Union, they got spam because America sent rations essentially to help them as they recovered.
They're like, please take these.
Yeah.
We don't want to ever see them again.
Yeah, exactly. But more often than not, these countries took on spam after the war as they were discarded by American soldiers, and the local people took them on after the war because these places were mostly ravaged anyway, and these were sources of food. And they were delicious, and they preserved well in tropical heat, so it worked out.
It's magical.
Exactly. In Hawaii, though, the ban on fishing is what made spam popular there. That's because apparently after the war, most fishermen were Japanese, so the United States made a ban on fishing to probably screw them over.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, and because of that, then spam became an option because there was a bunch of spam out there too, so it became the protein substitute. In Guam, spam is associated with the end of the Japanese invasion and I guess the beginning of the American one. But I think the article I was reading was an American one, so it said the liberation. Anyway, spam is so heavily tied to the end of the Japanese invasion and the American arrival of the American troops that it became kind of associated to something as a symbol of liberty.
Ooh.
Allegedly.
The meat of liberty.
The meat of liberty. In Japan, spam rose in popularity because, similar to the Soviet and the UK, it was sent over as rations by Americans. And people there were to the point of really dying of starvation. So the arrival of spam helped kind of feed the population there. It's a similar story for Korea, but it was after the Korean War instead of World War II.
Yeah.
In the Philippines, spam rose to popularity because apparently American soldiers used it as a form of reward to Filipinos. Good job. Take the meat I don't like. But without that super kind and sincere gesture,
no,
Filipinos would never have loved spam. So thank you for being assholes.
Thank you. Spread the love.
Thank you for colonizing us. Today, though, spam seems to be going through a resurgence in both, probably because of the recession. Cheap meats, usually good during low times.
That's what I'm all about.
But also, apparently, high-end chefs are starting to use it in their restaurants.
Oh.
Spam's very good, lovely. So why not charge $80 for it?
I could just go home and microwave my own spam. Yeah.
Monster. It's now globally sold in over 41 countries, but trademarked in over 100. Interestingly, the countries they're not trademarked in are pretty much just countries that practice kosher or halal practices. It's just non-kosher or it's not halal at all. As we are a food podcast, the best thing we like to talk about is how you could actually eat spam.
Yeah.
What's your favorite spam?
I really like the Hawaiian grill restaurants that they don't have here. But they would have spam with like either a fried egg or sometimes even pineapple.
Yes. Loco mocos.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those are amazing. Love it.
I'm gonna cook spam now. In Hawaii, like you said, one other popular dish would be spam musubi, which they're called is also known as poor man sushi.
Oh, so good. It's the best sushi.
And obviously this is very influenced by the prevalence of Japanese immigrants in Hawaii. Similar to the Japanese onigiri, which is rice and meat of sorts or vegetables wrapped in the seaweed, spam musubi.
You have a little slice of spam.
Yeah, essentially here's a little slice of spam with rice and seaweed. Like we were just talking about, there's also the loco moco, which is the spam it's rice with burger patty, fried egg, and gravy, but you could also have it with spam. The spam loco mocos are delicious. I'm sure you'd eat rice if it was all mixed in.
I have before.
Yeah.
I have been known to. Things change a little when I go to Hawaiian grills.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, for sure.
I'm kind of happy they don't have them here.
Why?
There is one.
Miss them.
Because then I would just be eating spam all the time.
That sounds like a good thing.
There is a lot of salt.
Yeah, for sure.
Like a lot.
There's also saimin, which apparently is a soup dish. It looks like ramen, but it's with spam.
That's like what you made.
Yeah, pretty much. In Puerto Rico, there's a sandwich called sandwich de mezcla, which is spam with Velveeta, which is their processed cheese brand, and pimentos mixed up into a spread. Sounds delicious.
That sounds great.
In the Philippines, spam is an option to add to your breakfast silog. Silogs are, I guess, like when you have meat with garlic fried rice and fried egg. Great way to start your morning. Love it. With banana ketchup.
Banana ketchup. I love that stuff.
In Japan, in Okinawa, a common dish would be chanpuru, which is similar to the spam musubi, but it will also have egg in it.
Yeah, spam and eggs.
Yeah, spam and egg. It's a spam and egg onigiri, essentially. They also have spam burgers that they sell in a local restaurant there called Jeff. J-E-F.
Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like, Jeff?
Yeah, it's probably a local fast food chain or something.
Okay.
In Korea, there are a number of different dishes when it comes to spam. They are the international crowned winners for spam eating anyway. There's the spam kimbap, which is spam with rice and vegetables rolled in a seaweed. So
That sounds
kind of like a
good.
maki roll with spam and vegetables. You also have the budajige, which is the one we tried in the spam episode, which is also translated. Budajige is Korean, translates in English as army base stew.
Army stew.
Yeah. So that's pretty much a spicy hot pot stew. So you have something spicy with a little bit of cheese and then spam in it too.
Yum, yum,
so
yum.
Good. So that's a spam episode. As we do in every episode, is it healthy or is it good? If it's healthy, the short and long answer is no. No. But I would say not as unhealthy as you might think. Maybe.
I think it's horrible.
Yeah. Luncheon meats.
Not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
Everything I love is bad for me.
Pretty much. Good for your mind. And in Smörgåsbord, we're all about the mind.
Mind palace.
The mind.
Oh.
No, it's pretty bad. Luncheon meats as a whole, in general anyway, are typically high in fat, nitrates, and sodium, and not to mention the use of preservatives as well.
Yep.
Sodium nitrate is known
bad.
to be a potential cause of cancer when it interacts with certain amino acids. So if your body has those amino acids, that with the nitrate might turn into something that is known to potentially cause cancer. I don't know. We're not doctors.
We're not doctors. We just know that it's not great.
Yeah. There's also all the fat in it that you could eat. That can lead also to heart disease, diabetes. There's also high cholesterol.
Let's not talk about that potato starch instead of the delicious healthy gel.
Yeah. Angel's soup base. And all the processing and preservatives. At the end of the day, the meat you get has no.
Yeah, how much percentage of meat is actually in there?
It's all meat.
It's all
There's
meat.
water, sugar, and
salt. It just
salt.
doesn't feel like it's all meat. It's like meat congealed with happiness.
Well, because the way they cook it is it's like combined with all the water. So like when you ground up, it's like imagine if you ground up pork and squished them all together and then put it in water.
Yeah, compounded meat.
Yeah, pretty much. And by that you have no vitamins or minerals left.
At all, ever, whatsoever.
But is it good? It's worth
it. It's worth all the things that we just said.
It's worth dying for. Yep. In fact, I'm probably gonna go make myself some spam.
Do you have some spam?
I think I have the Korean one. So spam is trademarked all around, but for some reason there's a Korean brand that has one.
It's luncheon meat.
Maybe.
It's not spam.
Yeah.
I do have some spam.
Spam.
I have spam.
All right.
Just so you know, if you go to Costco, you can get like a 3 or a 4-pack. I don't remember.
Ooh, flavored?
But worth it. No, unfortunately, just OG. I don't think they have the fun flavors in Canada.
It doesn't seem like it.
So
I think the grocery store by my house, I think has other flavors.
Do they? Yeah. Okay, go and take a picture, and then I'll try any of them except for the lower sodium one. Like I want full bad and full bad with fun.
Full bad with fun. There you go. That's our episode on spam. The full bag of fun. With fun.
Full bad with fun.
Full bad with fun. Why did I say bag?
I don't know. You said bag.
Full bad with fun.
Fun.
There you go. Bye-bye.
Meat.
This is Smörgåsbord.
This show was created by Angel Lin and Mik Narciso. Hosted by Angel Lin and Mik Narciso. Edited by Mik Narciso and Bianca Goico. Logo and graphics by Angel Lin. Music by Mik Narciso. And videography by Bianca Goico. The show is produced by Geek Happy Network, constantly curious about the things we love. If you enjoyed listening to Smörgåsbord, remember to subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube, or on your favorite podcast app. Remember to leave a review. We would love to hear your thoughts.